Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay
everyone?
calm.
What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Wait.
Everybody just calm down.
Help!
Here,
Oh,
take my hand.
ah!
Come on. You're gonna fall unless you take my hand.
No, give me your other hand.
Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough. You take my little hand.
No, get it away from me!
Take it. Take mine.
Ah!
I hear the train a-comin', it's rollin' round the bend.
Good morning, everybody. How are you on this fine Friday morning? It's probably still Thursday where you are, all things considered. Hope you are doing well. I just got up. I have had a shower, so I'm feeling a little bit awake, but also, I don't know. It's warmer this morning, thankfully. It's been freezing these last couple of weeks. But I'm here, and I'm ready to work. It's Weebless Thursday, says Mo Biggs. Yes, actually, no, yes. I've got Odin coming on later. He's he did the translation on a book called Odin, but it's spelled differently. It's Odin, as in the Norse god. I do believe, anyway. He'll be on later for the last 15-20 minutes or so. Whenever I send him the link, I don't know. I might get restless and send it to him early. If I've got nothing to say, he'll definitely keep the words flowing. Is it Odin? What is it called? It is Odin. Odin on for Odin. Excellent. Going up against Mange Davis. Bold move, Bancroft. Is it a bold move? When have I ever not been streaming against everyone? This happened to me every Jack show. Oh, you're going up against the Jack show. That's crazy. Yeah, that's me. Mange and Mandy 15 is on. Yeah. I picked this. I didn't pick it. It's just before my work. I picked it because usually no one is streaming, but that usually lasts for about a week. So let us say hello. To keep things from getting confusing, just call him Ogden. All right. Ogden is coming on. Let us say hello. Even though this was 10 hours ago, because I put this stream up early. 10 hours ago, Jeremy Burtz was here and he was first. So I will honor him. He slipped in before all of you. We've also had in here, we had Creative was here, Jav was here, Ellie was here, Valley Law. These are all 8 hours ago. And Jav says, oh, by the way, don't change my t-shirt. I wouldn't, Jav, unless you specifically emailed and requested it. We got Gary G in the house. All right, this is new. Gary's at work, by the way, but he'll be listening. Thank you, Gary. Thank you for being here. Jav is back. He's exhausted after the hours of Lord Raptor Jesus. I poked my head in, and they were looking at cars. I was like, you know what? I have other things I can attend to here. Sumo Thori in the house. Thank you for being here, Sumo, and Citizen Ronan. We got Don Chris here too. What's up? All right, that's it. Good, easy. We are, of course, simulcast on Rumble. Valley Law is here. What's up, Valley Law? Thank you so much for being here on my chill early morning. I guess it's art stream. We are continuing the flooding, by the way. So get strap in, seatbelts on for this campaign here. Is it a campaign? Will it be a campaign? I don't know. People tell me if you go the book finish, it's not a campaign. I don't know. A Lucent Fractured Mind. still being worked on. I haven't really been focused on this at all yet, haven't had a chance to. Still preparing everything to begin fulfillment of Painted Death. Actually, speaking of that, check these out. I've got these all in a box here. How am I going to show this? Microphone's falling over. Let's have a look if I can. Look at all them. I can't believe I did them all. You could just pull one out. So if it's done, it's a pre-sale, says Camel. Gold. That's the most common. But does a pre-sale have a campaign? That is the question. All right. Second most common, I believe. That one's a bit harder to lock in the image. Look, it almost disappears. It's like invisible ink. And then I think this is third. Could be. Oh, it could be black as well. I'm not sure. The bronze. And the black. And last but not least, the rarest gummy of them all. The Lucent. There we go. So they're all sitting there. I'm really just waiting on the last book now. And things will start shipping out. I do have a few more signatures left to do, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold off on them to know exactly how many I need to do to the number. I love gold. Well, he wrote, did you skip Mo Biggs? Did I? There's so many people in here. It was just, he just, you know, it's really hard. This is, you know, well, he kind of read my comment. Hail Mo Biggs. The Golden Wrench himself. Mo says, I'm surprised Bancroft didn't force the black covers to the back of the box. They're sort of hidden in there. Camel says, I think a campaign is the act of a 30 to 60 day buying option. Crowdfunding is when the product is funded ahead of creation of said product. Yeah, it couldn't exist without the backers, so to speak. Whereas with pre-selling, you have customers, not backers. That's at least my understanding. Still the ogre in the house. What up? All right. What are we doing here? What are we doing? I'm going to stop sharing that and start sharing. Actually, I should probably put the link there just in case anyone isn't signed up. I know you all want to be. That's what everyone wants these days. What is it? Join the Lucent mailing list. There we go. Pin it. Don asks, when's the next Camel Nights? Camel doesn't like to kiss and tell. He just likes to drop it on you. And, you know, you just have to figure out what to do about that. All right. I think that's it there. Excellent. Good. New page. Some of you would have already seen this before from way back in the day. Where is it, though? There it is right there. I already started blocking out Ella. Yes, I have, as Mo just want to remind me, I have not really been keeping up with my obligation to share pages of Fractured Mind to the Bogans. But in my defense, I forgot. So there's that. But you know, more is coming. It's all incoming, obviously. Things are being worked on. Things are being done. Don Chris wants to know what law Valley Law practices. And Valley says civil lit. What's civil lit mean? What does lit mean? Litigation. Ah, that makes sense. Civil litigation. I don't really know what that means. I'm ignorant of the law, which I'm told is no excuse. Oh, crap. Let me just do this quickly. What's up here? Okay, we're good. As you will see, the hat is off. There it goes. Never to be seen again. And this is the infamous boob grab. He didn't get a very good grab on it. It's sort of like more of a thumb. It doesn't really close the hands. Mo says, I didn't put it exactly that way. I just celebrated that the 1 year anniversary of the last time you posted new rod art to the Super Bogans. Oh, it was a celebration. That's fine then. Do I put on the do I put on some of that music? I won't put on Jake's AI jazz. It's strictly for poker night. But let's get real Shelby Robertson in here. I know, which one does Shelby play? Does he play Feeding the Ducks? I turned it down a bit. I got some feedback that the music was too loud. I just had it at the default setting. You guys let me know if it's annoying. Just trying to figure out what all this is. I think that's an arm. I'm not quite sure. Rod's actually started posting videos on his YouTube channel of some of this stuff. I've been sharing it a little bit. There was seeing that Camel was in the chat here. There was talk yesterday, or was it yesterday or the other day, about the upcoming cockfight, which I think is probably going to take place in early September at this stage, because I'm looking to have fulfillment done in August. And whether good or bad, I haven't figured it out. Everyone just assumes I'm going to kick Camel's ass. Almost everyone, pretty much everyone. And I don't know if that's a good thing. I mean, no one has ever seen me just whip out a huge piece. Hold on a sec. Getting messages here. Mel says, turn that shit off. It's so annoying. Well, I guess that's the feedback then. No, I thought people liked that. Clearly not. I know. Now I wrecked the thing, Mel. Let me wreck my lasso. I don't know, whatever it is. My marquee. Yeah, I don't know what that is about. I just think for the longest time, no one knew Camel was an actual artist, and I think that's just held over. But it's also like the wheelchair thing, you know. It's just people actually think he's in a wheelchair. So it's going to be interesting to say the least, because I know Camel actually does do this stuff quite often. You know, commissions and stuff, full pages, and they look rad. I've shown a bunch of them on the art share. That clearly a bunch of these people haven't watched. I'm going to figure out what this is here. Hold on a sec. That's his arm there, I think. Let's see through this. There needs to be a little rod has missed a spot here. I'm just going to draw that in quickly as I can. go. Mo says, I vote. Actually, I don't know. I wasn't getting any chats there for a second. Hold on a sec. Mo votes no. Yes, he plays in the dark. It's annoying. Is there any anime soundtracks? I don't know. Can anyone make me some AI anime music for Mo? Jeff says she's right. Citizen Ronan says the real losers will most definitely be the chat. But it says, Bancroft is striking himself out for the cockfight, getting in his own head. Fortunately, there's plenty of room in there. It's a cavernous space. If you remember, what's it called? The Lego movie. That was his power. That it was his head was so prodigiously empty. He had all the room he needed for creativity. Jav says, people seem to forget the camel almost won the godlike art contest. People also seem to forget that a renowned slow artist. So it'll be interesting. Mo says, it's very uncommon for Rod to miss a spot. He prides himself on hitting every nook and cranny. Well, without pride in your work, why even bother? Citizen Ronan says, thanks, Mel, for saving us. All right. People hate ducks. Why would it be called feeding the ducks anyway? That's so weird. Mel is accepting her praise. This is almost ginger root-esque here from Rod. I like it. A little bit of an homage. As Ella gets molested. Who's molesting her, by the way? This guy with, look at his teeth. I hope that's something she did. We got Dave Brink in the house of Genuine Comics. Out there selling Perfect 10 issue 5. I hope you all backed it. I did. Looking forward to it. Jumping on the train. It's called Feeding the Ducks because the titles are as generic as the music. I don't know how to play other music while you are also sharing something else, because they only allow you to upload by song. I'm not going to upload an entire playlist in there. So I don't even know how someone like Dark Gift gets the other music in there. Mo says collecting channel strikes is one of DG's favorite hobbies. He said it's no problem. And Dave Raposa does the same thing. But I don't imagine Dave Raposa has a huge library of videos in there like I do. Then you only get like a select amount of videos you can actually upload in there, and I'm always full. So I don't know how these guys are playing music in the background. Music always makes everything else sound like crap, at least using StreamYards. I have to take your word for it. I guess I don't know because I don't really listen back to it. People did. Was that you, Jav, who said that to me about the poker? I think it was you. You left a comment. Fair enough. Yeah, I do wish there was a way we could actually see the cards, but I've racked my brain. I can't think of a way to do it. First of all, there's no way that I know to run it on a delay. But then how would we even share everyone's cards anyway? It would need to be some sort of proprietary software that, I'm not going to do that. I have no idea. All right. Ella, done. Done and dusted. Do some crate action. Some flying cans in there. It's a box. You could use real cards and just play using the honor system. Using the honor system was fun when we were playing on camels because it was just for shits and giggles. But I don't know. There were some pretty big stacks by the end of it. I think Ink had 140 and Brad had 80 or something. I don't know if the honor system is going to work at that point. Oh, Dave, I like it. He says, finally some cans in Bancross Comics. Maybe that's a hint from Rod. He's like, we got to get a little bit more vavavoom into this comic here. I mean, he's just going off my specs, You've got that covered anyway, Dave. I feel you've got that covered for all of us. There's more voluptuous boobage in your books for everyone, for all ages. How's it going, by the way? How's the campaign going? I haven't checked in for a few days. I checked it out the other day. Someone was retweeting it, but I'm still undecided when I want to go live with this. Originally, I was thinking October, but I'm thinking might that be a little too soon. I'm not sure. But then if you don't go in October, you don't really want to do it that year. So I'm not 100% sure what I want to do here. Because I think I do want to have it finished. I want to try that. Stress-free. A completely different experience to what Painted Death was, which I'm still recovering from. I'm a little jealous. This is Don Chris. I'm a little jealous Australia has Fruitopia drinks. I haven't had one since the 5th grade. Do we? What's Fruitopia? I must admit, I don't drink fruit drinks. Fruitopia. I have not seen it. I mean, it's vaguely familiar. It's a fruit-flavored drink introduced by Coca-Cola. And it was discontinued in 2003 in the States. Yeah, still going here, it looks like. Mo says, I never tried Fruitopia. I thought it would always be there. I was a fool. What was I up to? I think this guy is it's him. A darker gentleman. A gentleman of African heritage. Is it his hand? Is it his finger? I guess it is. It's a drink most U.S. Public schools had, said Don Chris. Yeah, it sounds familiar, but I don't know. If we have it, it's not a popular thing here. No one says I'm going to get a Fruitopia. Never really hear that. I guess we just don't know how good we have it. All right. That's him down there. Look how productive I'm being. Getting it done. I think that's his thumb there too. This guy's got busted fingers. He's very articulate with them. If it's not popular in Australia, why do they keep distributing it there for 2 decades after canceling it here? I mean, I guess people must buy it. Maybe it's a kids thing. Like you're saying, it's like a school thing. Don't really know. Mark says, Coca-Cola always kills the drinks they come out with that I love. Frustrating. Coke Black was my all-time fave from them. We usually don't get all the strange. We recently started to get them, but we usually don't get them all. Like, just trying to think, like a raspberry Coke or stuff like that. We did get vanilla Coke for a while. I don't know if they're still doing that. But for me, it was we would go to Thailand, Malaysia, places like that. That's where I would find the kind of weird stuff. What I would consider weird. Let's do another box color. Mark says in Atlanta, there's a place called World of Coke. This is funny to me. They have a sample room with tons of drinks. I'd go to World of Coke. I like a Coke Zero. That's the only one I like. But I would sample the goods. Coke Black, according to Mo, was some kind of cola and coffee drink. Ew. That does not sound appealing. Yeah, wrong thing. Yeah, good. Jeff said, we had some stuff called Kinley for a year or two. It was like a bitter version of citrus Fanta. Well, there's all sorts of strange over in Germany. That's not up for debate. Great stuff too, as well, though. Superb confectionery from memory. Was partial to a Dickmann, which you can't really get over here because it's so fragile. Although I did try to bring some back in my luggage, and they kind of made it. They were edible. For anyone who doesn't know, they're like these puffy, soft marshmallow things covered in super thin layer of chocolate. They were amazing. Max says Bearcraft unleashing his inner Jamaican. I was partial to Dickmann. MANN. Man. Man, Cindy Dickmann, says Jeff Styler. I keep screwing this up. Hold on a sec. I gotta focus here. All right. Boxes of stuff. Do wonder what Germany is like now after all these years. We did go back. I think, when did we go back? I'm pretty sure it would have been before Victoria was born. Probably. I mean, it would have had to have been. So at least 12 years ago. I'm sure it's changed a whole bunch since then. But Mel and I went back to the city that we met in for a few days. And, just caught up the old sites and everything. It was same-ish. It's weird going back to somewhere you've been and lived and you've been so familiar with, and it's all different. you can never get back the original sort of feeling of what it was like. If people come here to Melbourne after being gone for 10 years, it's completely unrecognizable. That was their jingle. Like the Dickman minis, they have 3 different flavors. I remember them. I remember them well. I remember the beer section was pretty epic. Just down at the supermarket, you'd go into this area, and it was just, at least where I was, and there was just this. It was almost like a warehouse of crates of beer, and you could take a crate, like a plastic crate that you had to kind of bring back. Most people just left them on the side of the road, or you could just take one of these, one of that. It was great. All right, I'll do this guy here. Dude in the hat, maybe. Let's see. We got K-pop in the house. Sumo says, I'm reminiscing about the good old days back in Germany. Oh, yeah, formative years. I can hear Clark out there rummaging around. It was only 21 years ago, Sumo. Jesus. My God. Mel wouldn't like to hear that. I am interested to see how long this book will take me to do once I'm actually working on it properly and not just for a couple of hours once a week. Hang on, that's not the color I wanted. Where is it? Not. The last time Bancroft went to Germany, Don Chris was enjoying an ice cold Fruitopia for the final time. That's true. He was just sitting there, feet up, sipping that Fruitopia, just thinking, man, this is the life. I hope nothing ever changes. It was like that. I was going to say something about The Simpsons, but Mel wasn't happy last week. There was too much Simpsons talk. She wasn't getting all the references. She let me know about it. She doesn't know The Simpsons. I was going to bring up that, that episode where Homer is like, just his life is perfect. Everything is just going amazingly. And he's like, I hope nothing ever changes. And Marge is pregnant. I mean, she's heard. The problem is what Mel knows about The Simpsons is mostly what, me talking about them. So she's sort of sick of it. Is that the one where he rips his hair out? Yeah, I think so. Each time Marge gets pregnant, he progressively rips more hair out. It's a great gag. Suma says she's not here. Simpsonize to your heart's content. She's always listening. She knows. That's the one, Mo. Don't forget, you're here forever. It's actually one of my favorite episodes, if I think about it. That was back when Homer was actually a good dad, when he actually had a job that he did. I like that they made a joke about that at one point. Bart's like, "Do you even have a job anymore?" When they were getting very fast and loose with just what was going on. All right. This guy red. We've got RJ William in the house. He says, "Hal, long time no chat. Great to have you here, RJ. We're just chilling out this morning, trying to get a little bit of work done before my work day begins." Working on the next one. And once this is out, for a brief period of time, I will have been as productive as Rainey. And then I feel like that's probably not going to happen again. So she's already shared the cover of Fiendish 3. Or she said one of the covers. Flaming Moe's is one of my favorite episodes. I do love Flaming Moe's, but those episodes, they do it a lot in Seinfeld as well. Where there's this massive opportunity where the characters could really, and that was one of those opportunities where either Moe or Homer could have gotten super rich off, the Flaming Moe. But obviously you're not going to change the whole setup of the show. I don't know. Even though I know you're not going to do that. It still annoys me that no one made any money off the Flaming Moe. Maybe that's just me, though. Is that the Flaming Moe's? Is that one? The theme song? It's been that long. I mean, I really haven't watched an episode in a long time. I guess I'm just kind of butthurt what's happened to the show. But it'd probably be a good thing to do. I think it's on something where you can actually go back, probably on Disney. Although I don't think we have Disney at the moment. If we do. But if we ever get it again, it'd be worth going back and actually watching them in order. Happiness is just a flaming mo away. I can't even remember the song. I mean, I'm sure I can. I just. Hold on a sec. We have the technology. All right, hold on a sec. Brief interlude. I'm sure no one will mind me stopping my super interesting flatting for a moment. All right, let's relive it. That's what I thought it was. It's like a Cheers thing.
When the weight of the world has got you down and you wanna end your life, bills to pay, a dead-end job, and problems with a wife. But don't throw in the towel, 'cause there's a place right down the block where you can drink your misery away. At Flames on the Flame.
It's actually really good.
When liquor in a mug can warm you like a hug, and happiness is just a flaming mo away. Happiness is just a flaming mo away. How's the world?
You know, now that has reminded me of what would I search for? Best damn pet shop in town. This is a classic.
Open up, Curly. This is a raid.
A raid? Curly? All right, but, I don't know what you expect to find in a, simple, neighborhood pet shop.
Pet shop, eh? Well, I just have one question. What kind of pet shop is filled with rambunctious yahoos and hot jazz music at 1 a.m.?
No. The best damn pet shop in town.
Yeah! All right, but you people remember, baby turtles and alligators may seem like a cute idea for a pet, but they grow up. Let's go, boys.
Oh, they just don't make them like they used to. The best damn pet shop in town. Now that's a show we should do. Not Star Trek. The best Simpsons. When the Simpsons was funny. So many, there's so many little moments like that, and I can't even remember them all. But they just come to me. Just the other day, Victoria asked if I took something, and I said, yes, I nicked it. Well, you let your guard down for that split second, and I do it again. She has no idea. You know, she's never watched The Simpsons. Maybe when she was very young, she watched it, but not much. Citizen Ronan has 8 seasons on DVD stopped because they became crap. Well, it just was never, I would never even have considered because they were always on television here, non-stop. There was basically a channel here, Fox 8, that was just 12 hours a day of The Simpsons. But that would actually be really difficult, you know, your top 10 Simpsons episodes. That would be actually really hard. Ronan says, same here, but I bought one, I wanted another one, then the next one. Yeah. Well, you know. Who knows? Now they probably change stuff, censor it out. I heard a rumor that they stopped playing the Michael Jackson one. I don't know if that's true, though. Sumo says, I've noticed Rod likes to keep those two middle fingers together. Art imitating life, do you think, Sumo? You could ask him about it. What he means by it. He also likes to really separate the thumb there. I was doing that as well, and Joe was like, you gotta do something about these thumbs. They look broken. I see a lot of artists doing that. But I just go, okay, Joe, I'll fix it. He's kind of right though, because he'd say like, hold your thumb up. Can you get it that? I mean, I suppose if you do it like, even when you do it, yeah, I suppose like that. No, not really. Even it really doesn't. At least mine doesn't go further than an L shape. Chev says, Pro 7 was basically 4 hours of Simpsons every day. Then it changed to Big Bang Theory. Oh my God. What a drop. Imagine Big Bang Theory was your Simpsons. Picture that hell for a moment, if you can. We should make him a different color. Moses, I had two different people's whose opinions I had previously respected strongly recommend The Big Bang Theory to me when it was new. Well, The Big Bang Theory was weird because Arrested Development had already come out. So it was like, I felt like, oh, this is a big step backwards. What are we doing here? We've already been shown that you don't have to do the tired old sitcom thing. And Victoria has been watching Friends. I know, a lot of people think Friends is pretty lame, but compared to Big Bang, Friends is friggin' gold compared to Big Bang Theory. When they stop the laugh track on Big Bang Theory, it's like exposed for what it is. It's awful. They didn't do that sort of stuff even on Friends. They would just kind of continue on through the laugh. They would do a little bit of pausing, but But I remember when Arrested Development came out, I was like, oh, that old format is over. This is so new and funnier. Jeff said, I liked it enough for a few seasons, but once they added all the women scientists, it really took a nosedive. I think I just refused to watch it for a long time. And then I probably watched maybe a season's worth. So I know who the people are. But yeah, it was pretty awful. No. And I showed her Scrubs, and initially she was like, "Oh, this looks too old." Because when Scrubs first came out, it had really low production values. So the first sort of season or so, especially the pilot. So it was hard to get her to watch Scrubs, but she ended up loving Scrubs. But eventually the production values went up. It's more cartoons and stuff, and old movies, because old movies had a different pace to them that kids these days, you can't get a kid to sit through a 5-minute song where it's just showing the people who made the movie. That's not a thing. They will be like, what is this? They won't put up with it. But Friends actually does. I mean, apart from everyone, when it started, I don't even think there weren't even mobile phones. I'm pretty sure in the show, and then eventually, they got kind of Blackberries or whatever. So, the internet is all new. Internet dating is completely taboo. So it is funny, but it's not that, it doesn't feel that old. Anyway, it's good for a 12-year-old compared to the alternative options out there at the moment. RJ Williams says Scrubs is the most accurate medical show out there. Not House? I don't know if I really want accurate medical shows, though, to be honest. But if you work in a hospital, I guess you would know. So far, Victoria has watched and loved Modern Family, Scrubs, Friends. She's actually about to finish Friends. I realized I never saw the end of Friends. I kind of vaguely know what happens, but not really. What else has she watched and liked? Sherlock, BBC Sherlock. Although there's not that many episodes. Who is Sam Kinison, Mo? You just give me a quote from Sam Kinison. Is that the writer? Oh, Malcolm in the Middle. Yes, Malcolm in the Middle. She loved Malcolm in the Middle as well. Malcolm in the Middle was a good show. It's always sad when these actors that you like on shows end up being complete douchebags in real life. But what are you going to do? Nothing you can do, really. It sounded like you asked who Sam Kinison is. You know I don't do names, Mo. American stand-up comedian and actor. I know the face. I don't think I've ever watched any of this guy's stuff. Died in a head-on car crash in 1992. Rogan talks about him every damn stream. I haven't watched Rogan in 8 years. Everyone that it's recommending around him, I'm familiar with, but just not him. Like Bill Hicks and Andrew Dice Clay and Rodney Dangerfield. But I mean, I know his face. I just don't know him. I'm sure I've heard some stuff of his. RJ Williams says Rogan makes me lose brain cells. I like his method. I like his method of talking to people and just he always seems to lead the conversation in the direction that I want it to be led. I think that's his skill. I cannot stand his stand-up. It's so I don't know what it is. I can't stand it. It doesn't matter if I agree with what he's saying or whatever. His delivery. But when he's just chilling, having a smoke, having a drink, and talking, he seems to know how to just carry the conversation very organically. But I don't listen to his full podcast. I'll listen to clips here and there, but that's it. He used to have more interesting people on, like subversive people that were actually banned, like Stefan Molyneux and the Canadian guy. But yeah, I don't know. Mo says Bill Burr lost his edge when he got married, probably because he married a feminist. 100%. If you listen to Bill's, when he would just, read his letters and stuff, read his emails, and you really got a bit better sense of who he is and his personality. And that was some of his funniest stuff too. He really went against everything he would say in those things. And yeah. You could tell he had his mind changed. He was like, stop believing your eyes and stop believing what you're seeing and hearing, and start believing what this woman is telling you. Which is a shame, because he was probably, I don't know if it was on par with Chappelle, but pretty close. Like one of the top 3 guys out there. And he would say stuff that you weren't supposed to say. It was him, Louis C.K., and Dave Chappelle who were sort of really super famous saying stuff you weren't supposed to say. Tame Bill Burr is like Clark Kent in Superman 2 after giving up his powers. Get Burr angry enough and he'll get his powers back. Hopefully. Citizen Ronan never found Louis C.K. funny. I think it was funny back in the day when he was confident. I enjoyed him enough. Never my favorite, but the thing is, he was super famous. People, when he spoke, people actually listened. And Chappelle sort of left for a while. Louis C.K. got Me Too'd, and Bill Burr became a feminist. Like Bob Odenkirk in Nobody. We just watched that the other day. I don't know why it took me so long because I really like him as an actor. I've liked him in Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. But he just never got around to watching it. That's a great friggin' movie. Henry Thrune is back listening on his drive home. RJ William, I liked Louis before he got caught with his pants down, as it were. Yeah, I would have thought Louis could have been able, in any other time, he would have been able to just make a joke about that, and it would have been, because it was the biggest nothing burger ever. But did you ever watch Mr. Show? No, I don't recall Mr. Show. Citizen Ronan says, I find modern comedians don't understand jokes and what's actually funny. There's a guy who's getting some specials now. He's got some pretty funny clips. He's not hilarious. I can't remember his name. Mel likes him. It's very clean, though. It's very family friendly. It's mostly appeals to, I would imagine, people my age who are sort of in long-term relationships, that sort of stuff. In the same way that Jim Gaffigan is all about being a parent and a husband. But it's definitely not like it used to be, that's for sure. Although I do think Chappelle is still crazy funny. He's doing a different kind of style now. He's doing a sort of Mark Twain, get up and have a discussion sort of thing. Mr. Show had early Bob Odenkirk. Oh yeah, no, I haven't seen that. The first I saw of him was in Breaking Bad. I still can't remember if I ever finished Better Call Saul. I feel like I have a season left to watch, but I might not. I really can't remember. I think young Bob Odenkirk was on Seinfeld. His first appearance, I think, on film was in Wayne's World. He was one of the nerds that were obsessed with Wayne and Garth, and it came up, and they were all weird. I think that's the earliest that I've seen, but I'm sure there's more. He was just real. I think he was really good in pretty much everything. Kind of steals the. He kind of stole the show in Breaking Bad. It's whenever he was on screen, you know. Almost like James Spader-esque. Yeah, RJ Williams says a lot of actors were on Seinfeld before they got big. Same thing with Friends. So many of these famous actors were on Friends. Paul Rudd was a recurring character on that show for like 3 seasons, I think. And I went in yesterday, and Dakota Fanning was in there. And then big famous actors would go on there as well, like Brad Pitt and Danny DeVito and the dude with the mustache. But yeah, a lot of Bryan Cranston was a semi-regular on Seinfeld. You know the dude with the mustache? Yeah. Tom Selleck, exactly. Bruce Willis was on Friends or Seinfeld. No, he was. I didn't remember him being on Seinfeld. The chick from Christina Applegate was in there. And Reese Witherspoon. It's all coming back to me now. He was Tom Selleck. You are correct, Jav. And at one point he shaves off the mustache. It's no good. Doesn't even look like him. It'd be like if my dad shaved his mustache off. I've never seen my father. I'm 44 years old. I have never once in a day of my life seen my father without a mustache. It just would look so wrong. Jon Favreau trying to be a cage fighter on Friends is classic. Vaguely familiar. Not 100% sure. He's a tech billionaire who wants to be a cage fighter. There you go. Yeah. Oops. See, I feel like unless that's supposed to. Okay. Let's see what's going to happen here. I'm going to fill that in. Problem solved. With Tito Ortiz and Big John I have no idea who those people are. Jav. Again, unless you're mega famous, I probably don't know your name. I know faces. That's it. This is very wonky flatting right here. Guys from 90s UFC. I'm not super big into UFC. Never really. I mean, other than Conor McGregor, I probably wouldn't even be able to name one dude. I don't know if I've even watched a single fight. Tito became the mayor of Huntington Beach. I thought that was a weird turn for politics at the time. MMA fighter and the best known MMA ref basically is responsible for the global rule set. Well, there you go. Learn something new every day. It's pretty crazy what they've been able to do with that, though. I mean, I've got to respect that. Just create this massive global sport, whole cloth, out of a fighting competition. Sumo, if I had to guess, I would guess Bancroft was not very knowledgeable about MMA. It's a good, solid guess, Sumo. Which is why Victoria is a few classes away from being able to take down Papa. Well, Victoria's doing jiu-jitsu. There are rules to jiu-jitsu, you know? I suppose there's rules to MMA, but no punching, no kicking. Very important. As long as I can just sit down on a dude, then sorry, I can just sit down on Victoria, then she can't beat me. I was thinking that because I remember one of the guys who was one of the first judges in an MMA, in that very first MMA contest. He did I don't know if it was like a documentary or a video or whatever. He was a karate guy. And he thought, at least then, in that first one, the whole thing was rigged. It was a whole setup just to promote jiu-jitsu and to elevate jiu-jitsu. That was like the original goal of the whole thing. It was like a show to promote jiu-jitsu, because there was this sumo wrestler in there, this huge dude, and he was eliminated almost straight away just because he got punched in the face and kind of fell over. You can watch the footage. He got punched, he stumbled back, he fell into the cage, and he was a bit shaken, but I mean, he would have gotten up, and they did. He didn't. I didn't think the guy, did any kind of groundwork on him. He just sort of sat there, and the ref was like, "That's it, match over." There was like, "Hang on, what do you mean?" And so he was like, "Oh, they had to get rid of that guy because jiu-jitsu has nothing it can do with a guy that size. You can't get your legs around him, you can't get your arms around him. If he just grabbed you and then just plopped on top of you, there's nothing anyone can do. There's no like, oh, jiu-jitsu is all about the little guy beating the big guy. I mean, to a point. Anyway, obviously this guy's a karate guy. So he was thinking, he was up until then, kung fu and kickboxing and karate were the sort of most known popular martial arts. And he was like, they were just trying to get jiu-jitsu hyped. And karate now is kind of looked down on, I think. Don't take my word for that. That's what he says anyway. It's sort of like, it's not taken seriously as a martial art. Some of those old UFCs are hard to watch. I guess that to start somewhere. Alrighty. I feel like I'm getting things done today. Look at the history of karate. Imperial Japan popularized it as propaganda against boxing. Well, I think that's why MMA has taken off, because MMA, to me at least, is the kind of codification of actual fighting that actually happens in a street fight or a fight between one or more people. You've got the kicks, the strikes, everything like that. But then, all fights end up on the ground. Which I suppose it's fine if you've got one-on-one. But if it's more than one, then it doesn't matter how good your ground game is, you're going to get destroyed. Which is why the MMA, if you are against more than one, you want to keep everyone standing and sort of take out their legs. So I think that's why it's like become super popular. And karate is, you're supposed to be able to fight more than one person, whereas jiu-jitsu it's definitely a one-on-one thing. Ajay says, ironically enough, some historians think MMA went full circle because the ancient Greeks had their own form of MMA. That would make sense, that, especially if you've got people who sort of, trained from a young age in hand-to-hand combat, that they would land on the same. I mean, how to best use a human body to attack others, there's, that doesn't change over the years. Jav says, yeah, BJJ isn't the be all and end all. Yeah, and I think that's what the guy was talking back against. He was like, this isn't, God's gift to martial arts. It's probably the best way to do the ground stuff as long as you can't punch. But even if you can punch, you can incorporate that into what you know about jiu-jitsu. Judo isn't too bad. It's just that they watered it down more. Oh yeah, it's become a sport. Just giving us some historical context here. I love it. Then they moved east when they conquered Persia and stopped at India. The Chinese learned kung fu from the India's Buddhist monks who learned martial arts from the Greek style. Oh my goodness. But where did Pai Mei from Kill Bill learn his kung fu from? He was 1,000 years old. I did like that in Kill Bill that they had this ancient master and there was just no explanation to how he lived so long. It's just like he can jump up and stand on your sword. It's fine. Bancroft learned a lot about Greek style things when he visited Cal in Florida. I think that was Turkish style, actually. Sumo, not Greek. There was oil involved. Speaking of sport, and I noticed this, we've been watching the Olympics at night a little bit. You have to be incredibly comfortable just standing out there on a global stage. Your junk just in full display. I've never seen so many completely visible packages. And the dudes are just standing there like, arms on their hips, just letting it all hang out. I don't remember it being like that. It's I guess it's changed. Women didn't used to walk around where you could see everything as well. Now they all walk around in yoga pants. You can see everything. Nothing is left to the imagination. And now I guess it's the dude's turn. Did you see the pole vaulter? Yeah, exactly. Mo says Rod uses a very punishing Greek style of something called the rear naked poke. But I was watching even just runners, and they're just standing there, and the camera comes in, and it's like you can see everything, and it's like it's just in your face. And then there's another guy, he's wearing what I would consider more traditional running shorts, and everything's hidden. And I'm like, who made this decision to put us through all this? Because when they start running, I mean, that thing is, it's bouncing. Also, with that pole vaulter guy, I mean, surely that is a known thing. How do you not wear something like an underwear that kind of like holds it in tight? You can't just go commando under those things. It's going to be, well, it did what it did. I mean, that's crazy. That is a crazy reason to lose. Anyway. just one of the many more disturbing things to have come out of the Olympics this year. I wasn't quite prepared for. Bancroft's gaze immediately goes to the crotch. Watch it, Sumo. Watch it. You can't not look at it. It's in your face right there. It's like they're flaunting it. They're usually rocking those 70s type flop. Exactly. And there was the guy who won. I was watching a reeler yesterday. The guy who won was the only one of them wearing, and he won by a long margin too. It was about, I'd say 5, 6, 7 meters. He won out of all the guys. Everyone else was sort of in a line. He was way out in front. He was the one in the floppy shorts. You couldn't see anything. So it's not they need to wear it for aerodynamics or anything. It didn't help them having their junk on display. He's just reaching now, Sumo. Yeah, he won by a long margin. He was a lot further ahead. What I don't get is they wear all these skin tight clothes, but then have the number hanging there with safety pins. There's that as well. I noticed that it looked like a little local athletics meetup. That was weird. And also in the high jump, it was the women's high jump last night, and there was a American woman, black, who had bright red hair, and she had this thing on the top of her head where she had cornrows, and then she had this really frizzy red hair, and it was quite large, and it went out to the sides like that. It was pretty big. It was very prominent. It was out there, and it was all loose. It was bouncing all over the place. Anyway, so the first thing I saw when I saw her was, apart from it kind of looked like clown hair, was that's going to hit the pole, because when they jump over the high jump, it's head back. So it's all that hair. And what happened? 3 times in a row, she jumped. 3 times in a row, the hair knocked the pole off. I was like, is no one saying anything? Tie that hair up? Every other woman had their hair really tightly tied up, except her. It was bizarre. It's like, you want to show off your, I don't know, whatever. Suma says, yeah, that one was a reach. I'll give you that. A generous reach. A reach around, some might say. Oops. Anyway, all I can say is that the Australians are kicking serious butt in the Olympics this year. You look at the numbers. Sumo tried to shame the Australians by saying the Americans have more golds and more medals overall. And sure, that's the case, but you got to think per capita. It's very important. There's only 26 million of us, and we're 3rd in the overall medal tally. Sumo says, never. He'll never concede. He'll never think per capita. Well, you really do have to, because it's important to get a true picture of who is succeeding the most at the Olympics, and to see that we're just right behind China, who has over 1 billion people, and just 25 million of us. The Australians won the skateboarding park thing, male and female. I'm pretty sure that's an American invented sport. So, yeah. I'll take ownership of this. Damn it. Suppose I should think about sending our friend Mr. Odin a link soon. We have a book to look over, and I do have a hard deadline. I'll probably just finish this hair here. I do have to go to work at some point. Alrighty. I might just finish this Ella here. I'll shoot him the link. Oh, stuffed up. RG Worm says, I grew up in Southern California. I played a lot of sports that Australians like, such as rugby, water polo, and sailing. I don't like rugby. I don't hate it. I don't watch it. I've never heard of water polo in Australia. I'm sure we play it and good at it. And sailing is a little, even for me, sailing is a little elite. But we do okay in it. All right, I'm going to send Odin the link to see if he's around. Let me just save this, and I'll go check out what he's going to try to shill us. All right. Where is it? Close that. Close the Simpsons. That's not it. Got too many windows, clearly. Ah, there it is. All right. It is called... What's it called? Odin. There it is. It's called Odin. All right, let me send the link to him. I don't know if he's around just yet, because I said, oh no, he should be around. Where is he? There he is. RJ Williams says, I thought all Aussies love rugby. Rugby is played and enjoyed up north and sort of Sydney and up on the coast. It's not really that big anywhere else. It's mostly Aussie rules is the big game that everyone loves. AFL, yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you're rugby globally, yeah, Australians are a pretty big, famous team. In terms of that. All right, he's got the link. All right, let's check out what this is before he comes in. Present. Oh, I should have shared it with the friggin' thing. Let's do that, actually. Put it into Chrome. Then we can listen to it. There it is. All right. And I've seen the art on this, but that's really all I know. This just went live about, I don't know, an hour ago or so, 2 hours ago. It's got a ring of power. I feel like Michael T and Wolverine. What is this? What's he saying? Odin says, not home. I unfortunately have to go to work. Motion. Use them. Voice. So Ogden has said that he's not quite home yet. So I don't know if he's even going to make it onto the show, but we can check out this campaign. It does look pretty cool. Bitch and trailer, says K-pop junkie. I need to do some of that. I would totally do that. I would totally do a motion comic, even though I don't know if people like them. They think it's just like crappy animation. I find it quaint. Seed of Wards. Collopsia is a Belgian publisher specializing in comics and role-playing games. Collopsia. So, our friend Michael Ogden. Mo says Ogden has a proud history of writing good stories and disappointing YouTube viewers. So he didn't write this. Well, he did, but he didn't. The story is by hang on, he's got that down the bottom. So the story's by this guy, Nicholas, but he's written it in French. And I didn't know that Michael reads French, or maybe this guy did a sort of a janky English translation of it, and then Odin wrote that. That's what these are the questions I would have asked him were he here, but he's not. Maybe he can read French. I don't know. But so the English words that you'll be reading, you can see them up here. These are Odin's words. So Odin wrote them. But the story is written by this guy. So I think that's the situation. And then how the hell do you pronounce that name? Erwan Surlebian is a cartoonist, so he drew it. Oh, that makes sense. Let's check this thing out. It looks pretty friggin' rad. Odin, Lord of Asgard, father of the Scandinavian pantheon, poet, magician, relentless warrior, loving father, passionate lover. I thought they were talking about me. Before being a god, Odin was a complex and dark entity who tried until the end to thwart the inevitable destiny that led to Ragnarok, the end of time. So it might be like a retelling of sort of the original story of Odin. Maybe he used a machine translation and polished that up. Maybe. We have the technology now. Lost salvation is at hand. Yeah, maybe it's a story of Odin the man before he became a god. Lord of Asgard, master of all things, father of mankind. I don't know, actually. It sounds like it's kind of godlike to me. But check out this art. Yeah, it's pretty freaking rad. It's very European. This is the European style lettering. that if you've read bande dessinée, you'll be very familiar with. Horse fights. You aren't getting any passionate love if you keep talking about The Simpsons. What? You don't like The Simpsons? Art looks great, says Citizen Ronan. Now, Odin actually shared with me some other pages. I don't know if they were on the campaign page. Let me double check, because if they're not, I'll show them off as well. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Not quite home yet. Is that? Oh God. No, I don't think they're on the page. All right, I'm going to download these and bring them up. I mean, I hope I'm allowed to. Where are they? Did that work? Excellent. All right, I'm going to bring them up in a second. Hang on, I'm scrolling on the wrong thing here. Yeah, I don't really, I'm busy without Michael here. I don't really know. Okay, I'm going to show those pages. Hold on a sec. How do I do that? Open. Downloads. No, desktop. That's where I saved them. Yeah, and this is rad. They should put this up on the page. I think this is his work in progress. It still isn't finished completely. We can check out the art. Very nice. What's the other one? This one's rad too. Oh, look, see, he's got it in the French up there. Right. The French always use strange fonts too in their books. You would like that, Citizen Ronan, I'm sure. Very dynamic, yes. I really dig this European style to it. I mean, I don't know whatever I can really say more about without Michael here. Unfortunately, I can't hang around forever because I do have work shortly. Oh, that's another thing they said. It's got a really good price. Let me check that out. So you can get it digitally for, I think Euro is about the same as American. It's about $9, $10 or whatever. Now the book itself, how many pages is it? 2 volumes. Where is it? What's the page count? It's a color illustration print in A4 format. That's the size I'm doing. Oh no, that's a stretch goal, right? Okay. Yeah, how many pages is this thing? Doesn't say. Probably should say that, because everyone was raving about the price. It was like, oh, it's such a great price for the amount of story you're getting, but I'm not seeing, unless I'm a complete idiot and I can't read. To the top? Nope. Nope. Don't know. Originally published in 2 volumes by Soleil, which is a big publisher in France, augmented with 16 pages of original sketches. 2 volumes is probably, I don't know, these bande dessinées are probably, they're about 50 pages, so I'm guessing it's around about 100 pages. I'm going to guess. Plus 16 original sketches. €1 is, yeah, so it's about even. Where'd you get that, Citizen Ronan? Ah, it's right there. See, I don't look at this. I don't read this stuff. I read this stuff. I am an idiot. All right, confirmed. Well, 144 pages. There you go. $25. That is a good price. This one includes extra stuff, sign numbers, original print, more bundles, oodles of bundles. I haven't used Kickstarter in 10 years. How does the payment work? The same way it always works. They sort of modernized the checkout, but the actual pledge itself still works in the same way that it used to. So you pledge, and then that amount doesn't come out until the thing ends and it's funded. If it doesn't fund, no money comes out. So that's the sort of how it works over there. But I actually found Kickstarter to be pretty fancy when I first used it, but now Indiegogo is kind of catching up on it as well in terms of sort of functionality and stuff. They have late pledges now, and that's instant. All right, yeah. So once the campaign ends, though, that goes out. Yeah, that's more like buying off a shop. I want to know more about what this is about. I mean, I suppose we could read it. Let's have a look through. At last, salvation is at hand. After so much of the suffering and of the uncertainty. This is my best Michael Odin impersonation. I'm Lord of Asgard, master of all things and father of mankind. And yet, despite the power of my will and all that I have sacrificed to attain it, I am powerless to alter fate. Classic Odin. I've conceived in all its horror, in all its excess, moving ever forward, an unrelenting, invincible vessel of war. But who's this guy? The young gods recognize me as their overlord. So is it like the origin story of Odin? How he became the All-Father. I like how in Norse mythology, the gods are just chilling, just hanging around. So delayed reaction, even more playing involved. Yeah, if you were backing a whole ton of stuff via Kickstarter, yes, you would have to plan. Oh, and there's add-on. Yeah, there's a whole add-on page as well. K-pop junkie says it's a tad different how tiers work too. Really look at the tiers and then the add-ons. Now, am I going to dox anything if I look at add-ons? Because it says, yeah, look, one more. Yeah, so there's like extra stuff you can add on. I don't know if it's worth it. They're off to war. Blood and guts. This is going to look great in that big A4 format. That's for sure. Dig all these. Do you have tapestries? We have many tapestries. Yeah, we'll have a tiny area with the add-ons. Yeah. No, actually, I found that Indiegogo had I was able to put posters up on Indiegogo because they allow you to have variations of each thing. I thought that was pretty clever of them. You can get sketches. You can get all sketches and drawings will be made in pencil by Erwin. Citizen Ronan really loves the European style. I think when I get back into making shorts and videos and stuff, it's going to be not exclusively, but my main focus, I think, will be the European books. I was really inspired by that tweet that, not inspired, but I was like, yes. Razorfist put out a tweet the other day just about, I mean, what's going on over in Europe is just leaps and bounds ahead of anywhere else. artistically, at least. I don't know about story, but I'll focus on that sort of stuff. Citizen Ryan says, yeah, it's close to my art style. You can get an A4 colored print. We're nowhere near 8,000 yet. They have a long way to go. It's so funny. They've already been published in Soleil. You know, big publisher. A lot of my bande dessinée that I have are Soleil. There's Soleil and Glenat. I don't know. But when you come to crowdfunding, you want to crowdfund a an English translated version of it. It's you got to start from scratch because you don't have any audience on the internet. 9 backers. Hopefully they'll find more. But I don't know. I don't know how big their footprint is out there. I'm gonna send a message to Michael and say, I got to go to work. Let's do this again another time. I mean, there's not that many people watching anyway at the moment, so it'd be like we're double dipping. Apologies if you have to sit through this again, but it'll be more interesting next time because I have Michael on. Sorry, man. I have to start work. Let's reschedule. All right. Oh, did that go through? Oh, if it did. There we go. Alrighty. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out in my morning. Let's actually see what I got up to. K-pop says, I had so many Australian guys on last year. I'm doing an all Aussie panel. Which Australian guys? Do I know any of them? Are they comic book guys? Or something else? I think we did well. I think that's probably the most productive flatting session I've ever had. I think in a couple of hours. I think, yeah, that's Mike is sort of Australian. Yeah, I don't hang out with many other Aussies. Unusual. I went on with the guys who do the what's it called? Oh, I can't remember, but it's like Lethal Lightning and Raging Rhino and all those guys. Those guys were loopy. It was fun. They were crazy. It was good though. I had to, but even though they're in Australia, I had to wait up till 2 a.m. in the morning or something, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. They aren't comic book guys. It's an A-pop band. And then Cable says, yeah, some of them might have bands. All right, everybody. I'm going to bounce. I will be back tomorrow. I think I'm going to read another comic. Because I don't think, if I check my calendar, I don't think I have anything else on. Maybe I'll read a comic tomorrow. That might be a good idea. The following week, Immortal Rising is launching, and the week after that is Mythicals. So, as Mo says, hail Bancroft, hail the chat, hail not pictured is Michael Ogden. All right, guys, you're going to bounce. Actually, Michael just arrived, but I do actually have to go to work. I'll stay on, Michael. I'll chat with you in a sec. We will reschedule. All right, how do I get out of here? All right, guys, bye.
Perth made an Australian video, and I wasn't even in it.
Emotional damage.